Hello and welcome to another episode of the Retro Toy Crusader with me, Elliot. In today's episode we will be visiting the city of Brighton, travelling into the heart of the lanes and visiting the Emporium Snoopers Paradise. It's a really cool retro vintage shop where it's just got loads of old books, clothing, antiques, lots of retro and nostalgic vibes in there. However, there's just a dedicated section of vintage toys, which I thought, I'm going to go have a lot, go along, take a look, see what they've got. So yeah, let's stay tuned and see what we can find. However, if you want to join the crusade, please subscribe, like, comment. I'm really interested in your feedback. Again, I've only been doing this for a couple of episodes now, so any feedback is greatly appreciated. What you want to see further down the line. So settle in, get a coffee, and let's go check it out.
It's got that scanner on as well, isn't it? Scan. Oh yeah, no, it's still really cool commanding, so I said that in
Got your Star Trek figure there, over Scotty. Oh, and just over there you've got Spock. E.T. Ooh, never seen that E.T. jewellery before. Reverse Flash. Okay. Got the Joker. The Ben Affleck Daredevil.
They're all autistic, but special interest. Yeah. Lovely. Star Wars, Doctor Who.
Spider-Man. Iron Man. Some comics. Thunderbirds. More Thunderbirds up there.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Stingray. Yeah, that was a really good programme when I was a kid.
So what I would say is that this shop is quintessentially British. There's not that way, much in the way of American apparel when it comes to vintage toys. There are some, but not a great deal. But what you are seeing is stuff that is embedded in British culture in regards to kids' TV shows from the 60s, 70s, 80s. We're seeing Doctor Who, we're seeing Thunderbirds, we're seeing Stingray. One that we don't get to see, but it's just, again, embedded in that culture, is Captain Scarlet. With regards to Thunderbirds, I had a lot of the toys. You'll see there, the little mini figures. I had loads of them. I absolutely loved that toy line, and it just really takes me back to watching those sort of programs as a kid. Just seeing the puppeteering and the way that is a bit creepy, but their heads would turn, but their eyes would stay and then eventually follow. So it's really cool to see those toys still going strong, being displayed proudly, and yeah, it's just great to see.
Wow, look at those James Bond walkie-talkies, £85.
Where'd it go?
Star Wars. Quite a lot of Star Wars figures here. I presume they're Force Awakens. Look at that. Mel C, Sporty Spice. Spice Girls doll. Lover of Doctor Who. There's quite a fair bit here for you. Lots of Doctor Who. And who could forget the good old Daleks? Oh wow, even more Doctor Who merchandise down here. Wow, look at that Scout Walker. That is pretty cool. 65. Oh, Chewbacca Furby. Never seen that before. That's really cool.
We can go see if we can go see
Oh, I like that Wolfman. That is pretty cool. Obviously, real Ghostbusters stuff. As you would have seen, I was able to get the Dracula of Cape previously.
Oh, they have more of these ones. The standing swords, the Sphinx, six unknown standing
Do I have an energy for it? No. I do like that. Yeah. I've got a Liberty t-shirt, so I can see them.
Got some G.I. Joes there. Some of the Hasbro figures, WWF, however, they have seen a bit better days.
So that was a sneak peek in Snoopers Paradise in Brighton. Unfortunately, there's not a great deal in there. However, what I would just say is that, unfortunately, I just don't feel that in Brighton itself, which is a big city, there's an abundance of vintage toy shops. However, if you are passing in Brighton and you're going down the lanes, I would say just pop in there. Their stock is rotating, so it all kind of depends on the day that you're in there. There was nothing that really called out to me on this occasion, unfortunately. There was some real Ghostbusters stuff, which was lovely to see, but again, nothing that just really called out and I had to have. So, again, it was just a quick pick. So yeah, have a look if you're ever in that area of Brighton, and you never know, you might pick up something that kind of catches your eye, and you know. So I also thought it'd be a great opportunity just to show you my very modest yet ever-growing toy collection. So, you know, I've got behind me Masters of the Universe Origins. I haven't got the original stuff just because I really liked this line, and it was kind of this sort of time, a few years ago, that I started collecting, and because these were out and it had much better articulation than the original figures, I thought, you know, these are what I'm going to go for, and I do absolutely love them. They look just like the originals, but yeah, you're able to pose them more and just say, yeah, it has the flexibility. I've got some real Ghostbusters, which I said in previous comments. I've got some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Thundercats. So yeah, I just thought this would be a really good chance just to show you what I've got currently. Again, you know, with Toy Collected, there is just so much to, you know, to get. But you know, I'm really on a mission now to ramp it up, grow my collection, make this my paradise, my zen room, just full of plastic power and nostalgic vibes. So yeah, here we go.
Starting off with my Master of the Universe Origins Snake Mountain reissue. I do love this piece. Unfortunately, shame it's not as big as the original, but nevertheless, I do still love it. Then we have Strider, Prince Adam, and then the Ground Ripper with Masters of the Universe DVD collection. We then have my Origins villains. I would definitely say that my favourite two characters are Mosquito and Webstore. Just love the way that you can position him, use his grappling hook to hang on to anything that you want. We now have the good guys. There's just something about the Origins line that I love. Again, closely relating to the original line, however, just with a lot more flexibility and posability. I do like the Mossman figure. Shame he doesn't smell though. I then have the Origins Castle Grayskull. Loving a bit of hero. I think that's an amazing figure, and just the artwork on the box that he came in was just so good. Really sticking to the original artwork, you know, just giving that those 80s vibes. I actually picked up at a car boot, Ford car boot in Sussex. This is actually a 3D printed version of Skeletor's staff. It's actually quite random. There was a couple of guys that had a stall, never ever seen them there before. However, they had quite a number of 3D printed items like Donkey Kong logos, etc. But I was walking past and this instantly grabbed my attention. I only paid £20 for it, so I think that's a real bargain and I just really love it. And then this one. This skateboard I picked up at Sandown Toy Fair in Surrey. Unfortunately, I can't remember the name of the guy that does them. However, I've seen him there quite a number of times, so he's likely to be there this September. However, just the artwork on it is absolutely brilliant. It's such a cool piece. I think this was £60. But really complements the room. See, if you're a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan, this one is just brilliant. However, he did have others, also as well as t-shirts, hoodies. So yeah, when I go in September, I'm definitely going to be going back to his stall and seeing what he has. But hopefully you'll agree, it's brilliant. Love it. Okay, now moving on to the top of my display case. Unfortunately, again, this is a reissue. I would absolutely love to have the original party wagon, however, wasn't feasible. But when I again was, I was in Basingstoke actually, in Festival Place in the mall. There was a really cool shop, and they had this for £50. Again, love the artwork of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys, and it's just a great piece. And moving on, my Thundercats collection. I do have a fair few. As I've said in previous videos, I absolutely loved Thundercats toys. Yeah, just so much nostalgia, just love the figures. As you can see, I don't really have any accessories. I think the only one is the claw on Lion-O that I have. So getting the weapons and accessories is something that I'm definitely going to be looking to do in the near future. We then move on to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle collection. I do have just a couple of reissues in here, but I think about 85% of this is original. An original Usagi there with his weapons, accessories. A fair few of these I've got in the past from Retro by Ronnie, which I went to in my first video. yep, more to come. I mean, who doesn't love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? They are just brilliant. Then on to my Real Ghostbusters collection. This Slimer I got at Sandown again. Unfortunately, reissue Ecto-1, not the original, but it still looks amazing. Those Ghostbusters 2 stickers were actually given to me as a freebie from Back to the Retro, which was really nice of him. This goes well in the display. Stave Puft Marshmallow Man. There's my favourite Dracula with his cape. Also, when I was a kid, loved the werewolf. My favourite colour's always been blue, so the fact that he had blue on him, I think, is what drove me to really liking him. The zombie mummy, zombie monster that I got at Back to the Retro. Frankenstein. And down here, I've got some Bucky O'Hare figures. I actually think that is it for the figures in the line. I think I've got them all. However, as you can see, no accessories, so got to start building them up. I think there's just one towed vehicle left that I need to get for the line to be complete. And then we have some Captain Planet figures. Really loved the Captain Planet cartoon when I was a kid. Yeah, really liked it. So going to be getting more of them when I can. Got a couple of biker mice from Mars. Getting loads of them to collect, so I'll be looking to get more of those. Unfortunately, just the reissue of the Toxic Crusader line. Unfortunately, they are quite expensive, the originals. So I just picked this one up for now. But yeah, I mean, the line itself, it's just brilliant. The figures look so amazing. You know, some of the features, you know, pour snot through some of the figures coming out the nose. I mean, who as a kid wouldn't love that, and also who wouldn't love that as an adult? And then this little thing here, radioactive goo, is something I'm going to be talking to you about a little bit later. It's just a find that when I was out and about in HomeSense, and I thought this looks really cool, would complement any collection that involves Toxic Crusaders, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Real Ghostbusters. So yeah, I'll talk to you about that momentarily.
So that was my collection tour. As I said, it's very modest. I haven't got an abundance of toys. However, I'm definitely looking to grow it. I've become so passionate about these little pieces of plastic heaven that cost a couple of pounds back in the day. However, now, you know, really ramped up the price and just makes it harder to obtain them. So yeah, gonna continue, and I want you to come on this journey with me, and yeah, we'll just go from there. Now, as I was just filming, you would have seen at the bottom of the display case was a radioactive barrel of goo. So what this actually was, in fact, is a really great find, I think. So as I was being dragged around HomeSense by the wife, don't tell her this, but I actually like HomeSense. Anyway, yeah, so saw this, and I've never seen anything like it before. I was, really caught my eye as I was walking past. So what it actually is a candle. Now again, yeah, you might be thinking, what is he doing talking about a candle on a channel about vintage toys? It doesn't have its place. However, I think by looking at this, it really does complement a toy room. This actually is removable, and as you can see, it's a candle. But yeah, I just thought it really looked cool. It really complements a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toy line. Toxic Crusaders, Real Ghostbusters, anything with radioactive goo, slime, etc. I just feel like it really works well. So yeah, it's a really good find. And as I was going on about it so much when I was in HomeSense, nice enough, my wife actually went and bought it for me. So thank you very much to her. But yeah, I might even get myself another one just to add, a little bit more depth and just maybe put it in with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think that might be a good idea. Just thought I'd take this opportunity just to say thank you very much for subscribing, those who already have. If you haven't and you're liking the videos, please subscribe, leave a comment, give me the thumbs up. It would really be appreciated. I really want to get this channel growing. I want to just continue this crusade of retro toy collection. So it's such a passion. I love seeing these things. I love collecting them. It just brings back, such amazing memories from my childhood. So yeah, please, any way that you can support this channel, that would be absolutely amazing. But just to give you, a kind of an idea of what I've got planned, going forward, is that I'm going to be attending some local toy fairs in the south of England in the next month or so. However, what I'm really looking forward to, I think it's on the 6th of September, is the big Sandown Toy Fair. I've been a few times, got some really, really cool stuff. Again, this skateboard behind me, which I love. So yeah, going to continue to get out there, see what I can find. But yeah, definitely local toy fairs, and just really looking forward to Sandown. It's chaos. I can certainly say that. There's a lot of people, but there's just so much there. It's just amazing seeing all those stalls, all the variety of plastic toys that we used to play with when we were kids. And even if you didn't play with them when you're kids, as an adult, you get into this, and then you see toy lines that you wish you had when you were a kid, or newer ones that just really take your fancy. So yeah, that's my plans for the near future. So thank you very much for watching, and if I don't see you for the week, I'll see you through the window.